everything started to go wrong after that. These are my only hair. The other part, like here and here, they are all microblading. So some of you might have already found out there's something wrong about my microblading, right? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. As you have seen the title, you know that we're talking about eyebrows microblading. So I did my eyebrows almost exactly a year ago, and I just have something that I want to share with you when you do an eyebrow microblading. I did it almost exactly a year ago in London, and it cost me £350, which do the microblading and include a touch-up a month after that. So the process of microblading is that when you go there, you got a consultation, and then she will draw the eyebrow shape, and then we'll start the microblading process. It took an hour and 50 minutes around that time. It was supposed to be half an hour shorter, which it was supposed to be 45 minutes. And in the first 14 days after microblading, you can't wet your eyebrows at all. It was quite difficult to keep it not touched, because when you do your makeup removal, wash your face and wash your hair, it was quite hard, but I managed not to get any water touched my brow. And within those 14 days, she gave me a vitamin cream thing to put it on my brows, so to let it heal faster. And when you first get your microblading done, it's very dark. It's like at least 30% darker than your wanted shade. Because I have black hair, so we chose a very dark brown color. Right after that, it looked exactly like that. I have two seaweed stick on my brows. It looks funny, it did, but it is one of the process, and the skin will peel off and left a much natural finish. I really like that when I don't need to do any makeup, it just looks like I have eyebrows. I will give you a close-up. Let's zoom you in. So I did not put any products on my brow today, so that you will see very clearly what it looks like if I use a spoolie to move my hair. Then you see that these are my only hair, and all the other part, like here and here, they are all microblading. So it is not the first microblading I did in my life. I did it once, like when I was only 20 years old, and it left like a brown little tail there on both sides. So this side on the right hand side is even more visible because the shape is different, but we talked about that before we started microblading this time. I have a scar here, so on the left side I don't have any brow hair, on the right I do have. It's one of the reasons that why I really want to do microblading. So some of you might have already found out there's something wrong about my microblading, right? So what I did was a microblading. But microblading is different for eyebrow shading technique. Microblading is that they draw hair, like real hair direction, and it leaves the strokes, so it looks like a feathery brow or a very natural finished brow. I'm gonna zoom you in again. You see what I mean? On my brow, you barely see strokes. It's a shade right underneath, which is a very dark gray. It was not even a dark brown color that we discussed in the first place. You can see especially this part right here. It is a patch of shade. It is not strokes. That girl who did my microblading, she is very famous. Yes, and she got full appointments, and I was very lucky because one client of her cancelled. I just waited for a month. Otherwise, I think you need to wait for even longer than that. And the reason why that she took half an hour longer for her to do my microblading is because when I sent over the picture of my brow, it was not that clear enough. That is my fault. That is clearly my fault. I have some hairs, brown hair, and my hair is black. So from a distance, she saw that I have a very basic brow shape, which is true. But when you close up to look at my brows, they are sparer than she expected. So that's why she actually did half an hour more for me. So she provided me the vitamin A cream to put on my eyebrows as she instructed, and she said if you have very oily skin or you have combination skin, don't put too much, just a very tiny bit. Use a cotton bud to just press a little bit, don't rub it. And I did that, but I get my skin doesn't absorb that cream as good as it's supposed to be, so it leaves a film every day, like a very shiny film, and I think that is one of the reasons why it smudged the strokes. After 1 month, and you have to do the touch-up, because when all the skin fell off to leave the color there, she has to see if there's any stroke that didn't get enough color. Maybe I want to change the shape a little. And when she saw it, I can actually tell she is a little shocked by how the strokes smudged out. She did a little correction for me, and this time she told me if skin gets shiny after putting the cream, just put it for the first night, and the rest of the days just don't put any cream on. And at that moment I kind of knew that maybe in the first 14 days I should have done the same, because this time when the skin peeled off, the strokes get so much clearer. But unfortunately, because it's a touched up, so the strokes of the second touch up isn't enough, or isn't able to, you know, make the time backward and unsmudge the strokes. Is that after I did microblading, I actually did more and more research. Don't get me wrong, before I did this microblading, I did like more than half a year research. Beauty technician I should go? Should I go back to Hong Kong, because you know Asians tend to like a flatter brow shape? Maybe they will have like a better view or a better insight of how I would look better in my Asian features. After microblading, I actually found out one Hong Kong microblading technician, and she said one very important thing. If you have oily or combination skin, it is not suggested to do microblading. Which is, my beauty technician never told me about that. She did ask my skin type, and she did not say anything to me, because, and I saw this Hong Kong beauty technician, she said that when you produce oil, the ink was smudged inside the skin. So I think that's the reason why it was smudged out. The strokes she created too dense. When I first came out from the microblading, I was so happy and so satisfied, because the strokes look so insanely beautiful, incredible. I think her eyes are blinded because of making all those strokes for me, and I loved the shape. I love how the strokes look like, but my skin is oily and it's smudged out, and the strokes are really dense together. They just blend together. I found out that, you know, when you do microblading a lot of the beauty technician, the strokes in the front especially are really spare, so it really looks like hair rather than like a color shade like this. I'm not sure because she is based on the density of my own brow, or she just did it like that. I think she just always does it like that, because when I see her Instagram profile, she always does the same density of strokes. One thing that is suggested for oily or combination skin is that you will get the second half part or the 2/3 part of your brows shaded, not microbladed, shaded, and in the front just leave your brow normal. Because in the front, if it's like a patch of color like what I have, it doesn't look natural. If you just do the coloring at the back and the front just leave your brow as it looks super natural. If you're Asian and you're watching this video, I really recommend you to go for an Asian microblading technician. Not discrimination, not racist. I really love my brow shape, but it's too long for my eyes. The brow bones, the nose bones, all the structure of us are different from the Western feature. Something very natural when I do this. You will see here that my brow drop down because my bone So sometimes when I feel weird when I move my brows up, and then when this part drop down, it looks like that I have like a curvy eyebrows. And yeah, but I mean it still looks good. It's still like a shade that when I don't do my makeup, I don't need to do my brow. If you have dry skin, very luckily, go for a microblading. If you have oily combination skin, do a very thorough research and check with your microblading technician, you know, different skin types and different kind of natural level that you want, you know, varies on different people. But do I recommend you to get microblading or eyebrows tattoo in general? Yes, go for it, because it kind of changed my life. No, it didn't change my life, but it did save me a lot of time every day. Probably I would do it again if it's all faded. It's really convenient. Anyway, so that is my eyebrows microblading tattoos experience and advice. I am not professional, but this is what I went through and what I found out through time. So I hope this video is useful to you if you are thinking about microblading. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video, and I will see you next time in my new video. Bye!